Hi everyone, my name is Taylor, and in this video I will quickly take you through the 4 different types of data you will come across in statistics. Before I begin, why is it so important to know these in the first place? Well, we learn very different things from data depending on what type of data we're working with. Being able to correctly identify and apply data types means we can maximize the amount of information we learn from our data. In statistics, variables will be classified as either numerical or categorical. Let's look at numerical first. A simple way to think of numerical variables is they can only be collected in the form of numbers. Now, there are two types of numerical variables that you will come across: discrete and continuous. Discrete variables can only take the form of integers or whole numbers. It may help to think of this as data that can be counted. Discrete variables will not take negative values or have decimals. An easy way to spot discrete variables in a data set is they are usually labelled as the number of something. Continuous variables can take any numerical value, including decimals and negative numbers. It helps to think of this as data that needs to be measured. This measurement is usually within a range. There will be a lowest value and highest value, but what makes this continuous is that the data can take any value between these 2 points. Let's look at categorical variables now. Categorical variables do not need to be numerical and usually describe a quality or characteristic. However, categorical variables are always divided into groups. Do keep in mind that these groups may be labelled using numbers. There are two types of categorical variables you will come across: nominal and ordinal. Nominal variables are grouped by label or name, but these groups cannot be ordered. Ordinal variables are divided into groups using a set order or scale. In other words, these groups can be ranked from lowest to highest or vice versa. If a categorical variable has only 2 groups, we may refer to it as binary. It will still be nominal or ordinal, but we can think of it as binary as well. Let's look at an example. The dataset we will be looking at is a selection of variables from the Australian Health Survey, which is used to identify health risk factors among Australians. We will consider 5 variables: age category, self-reported mental health status, the number of doctor consultations in the last 2 weeks, and smoking status. Let's look at the dataset. The real dataset is classified, so I've simulated the data we're looking at today. Let's start with the number of consultations. Before we classify this variable, we need to consider the context. You might have had 0, 1, or even 10 consultations over the last 2 weeks, but you cannot have 1.55 consultations or -2 consultations. Therefore, we can safely say this is a discrete variable. Let's look at the age variable now. This is the respondent's age in years. So is this also a discrete variable? Well, your age is a continuous number. You're never just 30 years old. You are 30 years, 4 months, 5 days, and so on. Knowing this, we are unable to say with certainty whether this variable was counted as a whole number or measured from the date of birth and rounded to the nearest integer. But we can certainly say that age is continuous, so this is a continuous variable. Let's move on to smoking status. There are 2 groups, one that does smoke and one that does not. So straight away, we know this is a binary variable. But is it nominal or ordinal? Well, it's not grouped in an order, it's grouped by label. So we can say this is a binary nominal variable. What about the age category variable? We can see that the number 1, as written here, refers to the group of ages between the range of 18 to 30 years. We can also see that these groups are ordered from lowest age to highest. Therefore, when ages are grouped like this, they are considered an ordinal variable. Lastly, let's look at reported mental health. This variable describes the quality of respondents' mental health. It's non-numerical, so it has to be categorical. It also scales this quality from lowest mental health to best. Therefore, we can conclude this is an ordinal variable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful.